the great news, you can buy a house you actually like now.
Yeah. Okay, so today we have here at the Costa Group, Kevin and Jennifer Robb from Royal LePage State Realty. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming. Today we're gonna just talk a little bit about, the market, just a few questions. So I've known Jen for many years now, so I'm so blessed for that. When I met Jen, Kevin, you weren't a realtor at the time. So what made you pursue a career in real estate?
I've always enjoyed real estate. I've been with Jen for 15 years now, and kind of watching her through real estate develop and grow, and I've always taken an interest in it. And at the time, about 4.5 years ago, I was at a point in my life where it was just time to make a change, and the real estate seemed like a great option.
Oh, see, there you go. Are you happy that he's a realtor?
It's been fantastic. I mean, we're two different individuals with two different sets of strengths. So things that I'm not as interested in or inclined to or strong at, Kevin is. And what works in our marriage, and it works in our business as well. So I think it's a great thing.
Yeah.
I'm very analytical, and Jen's very much a people person.
Oh yeah, 100% people person.
Yeah. So when it comes to someone says, what's the value of my house? Why is it going like this? I sit down and crunch the numbers, and I'm able to present that to them.
Yeah.
And then Jen's very much, get the house ready, walk people through the whole process, and the very comfort fact. She's very nurturing that way.
Oh, 100% nurturing. I actually did an open house with her years ago, and you know what? She makes everybody that comes through that open house so welcome, even, you have the cookies there. I know we've had a close relationship over the years. Do you feel that it's important to have a close relationship with the mortgage broker, mortgage agent?
I think it's absolutely critical. Not just important, it's critical. A lot of people will go to a mortgage calculator online, which is the first natural step. But there's so much more involved than just the rate that's on there. And there's different employers that require different lenders, and there's so much involved that the sooner you can get involved with a great mortgage realtor or mortgage agent, the better. You don't want to go looking for houses in a price range to find out that you can find something, you can only afford something that's, say, $100,000 less. It makes a huge difference. You're never going to get or be satisfied with what you get if you're looking in the wrong price range.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny that you said that, because I find even the last couple of weeks, we've had where, agents that we don't know them personally, the clients were referred to us by other clients that we had previously. So they'll send us a purchase and agreement, like they have an accepted offer, and then you go and crunch the numbers and they can't afford this property. So I'm like, who's the agent that has not asked that question, have you been pre-approved? It's mind-boggling, because now this couple has fallen in love with this property, and then I'm the one at the end delivering the bad news, saying, well, can you increase your down payment? And they're like, no, I don't have any more than, say, 5%. Well, can your parents co-sign? Well, I don't want my parents to co-sign because it's our home. Okay, so now do you put the realtor under the bus? And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to start playing that game, but how can any agent today, especially on how difficult the mortgage rules have become, to say, you know what, yeah, here, we'll just write an offer and then get
and
your
hope
finance.
for the best.
And hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
Is that not wasting your time, my time,
It's a waste of everyone's time. I mean, you want to make sure that people are prepared. They know exactly what they can afford. It's like showing somebody a condominium when they're looking for a farm. I mean, why would you put somebody in that situation?
Yeah. Oh, actually, with condos, even the condo fees can make or break.
Absolutely.
A mortgage, right? Because you could buy a house for, say, or condo for $300,000, and then your condo fees are, say, $354,000, which we haven't accounted for when you tell them that, yep, you're pre-approved for $300,000, right? So, and that's what a lot of people should, understand, that is condo fees can, like I said, make or break your affordability.
Absolutely. There's so many different variables, right? So it's being prepared in all of it. It's what are the challenges? What are we looking at? What's suitable for your family?
In our industry, in the mortgage side, our biggest challenge that we have faced is the stress test, and also, just competing with rates with clients. So as a realtor, what challenges do you face, or do you even have any?
We absolutely face challenges in real estate. I think that a lot of people are not able to put things in perspective. So it's our job to put it in perspective for people. The news is very noisy and negative.
Yep.
And, when the topic of real estate comes up, a lot of people will say like, oh, my kids will never be able to find a home or never be able to afford a home. And I say, well, every generation has said that about their children. So, I remember when I was in grade 4, my parents got 18 3/4.
Yeah.
I remember them high-fiving each other
Yeah.
because they had friends that had 21%. So when we put things in perspective, yes, the price of a home is up much higher than it used to be, but now there's a lot of double incomes, and there's RSP options, and there are
Child tax benefit.
There's all kinds of things available. So the sooner we can get people prepared and get true answers as to what they can afford, then we're off to the races and we can do our job.
Yeah, that's the key thing, is getting people prepared, right? Is taking it from step one, ensuring that, we have given them all of their options on, maxing out what type of income we can use. And, once we have our step in order, I always tell people to make sure 100% that you go in with condition of financing. Now, I know last year, or was it the year before, you could not even, have that in there, that clause. So how do you think it will be this year? Do you think people have the time now to ensure that we can do, say, 5 business days of condition of financing, or is it going to still be that same market where, nope, we're all going to be, doing price wars or whatever, and there's no time, just put in a firm offer? How do you feel it's going to be this year?
I think this year it's like last year, there was a whole bunch of uncertainty with the new mortgage stress test. At the beginning of last year, there was a lot of confusion, a lot of unknown, a lot of skepticism within the market. But the last 3 months of last year was really strong. And I think most of the real estate gains were in the last quarter, say. Yep. So this year, I think we're going to see very much similar, a strong, steady increase, not like the double-digit increase we saw a few years ago, but maybe 4 to 5%. We are seeing in the lower end of the market, the under 600,000, there are competing offers, but often the competing offers will be with a condition, and it's probably finance and inspection.
Yeah.
And you do see some homes going over asking, but they still do have that time period to get all their ducks in a row.
Yeah. So I find, in my neighborhood where I live, last year or the year before, once a house was up for sale, it didn't even last a day. Or like 2 days, it was already sold. Now I've seen that even like the same home is up for sale and it's sitting there for weeks and weeks, even months. Is that because people think that, well, the person who had it before sold for, $50,000 more, that they want that $50,000? Like, I don't know, because I even find that even in the refinance on our end, we'll have people always saying, yeah, but the house 2 doors down was valued at $750,000, and now you're telling me after my appraisal, mine's only worth $700,000? My house is way nicer than his. Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, if we look at the statistics from 2018, all of the losses were in the $600,000 plus.
Yeah.
Under $600,000, they all noticed gains in their average sale price, but it was above $700,000 that we noticed there was a decline. Burlington had losses, Ancaster had losses.
Yeah.
So those primarily are in the higher price point.
Yeah.
So it pretty much is a buyer's market if you go into the upper 600,000 plus. So if you're in a townhouse right now, there's a lot of competition for the low end of the market. It's a great time to upgrade to, if you're looking to go to a higher single family home with larger space.
Because there's more available, right? I mean, it depends.
Is there a lot of homes available?
Well, there are more.
Yeah,
more
but
homes
if
on
you
the
look
market.
at the statistics,
Is it a buyer's or a seller's market?
no,
It depends on the market.
it depends on the market.
Depends on the market.
But if you look at the statistics, the number of homes sold are down. But again, some areas are, even though the number of homes sold are down, the average sale price is increasing. But when you get above 700,000, like I would say, it's totally a buyer's market because those prices have come down and there's more options there and people can have the choice. You know, if I don't like this house at 720, I'll go find the neighbors at 710 or something like that.
The great news, you can buy a house you actually like now.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, in that market where things were moving really quickly, everyone was saying, you know, oh, well, the houses they sold and there was no work to be done. What they're forgetting is the work was to be done prior. The buying of the house that you wanted to get into, you could not sell your house until you bought something else. So you'd already gone through the challenges. It just shifted.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were no financing clauses in there, but that's also why it was critical to work with a mortgage agent because you had to have that financing approved prior to the offer. So we were holding offers for say a week. So you would say, get that offer to you ASAP, even before it's accepted, to say, what can our clients afford? Can they get into this house?
Yeah.
So there was no financing condition, but it was done prior. So that way you could work it then, but every market's different.
Yeah. So final thought, what are any tips that you can give for first-time home buyers or someone just getting into the market?
Contact the Costa Group. No, in all seriousness, contact a mortgage agent as soon as possible. I mean, if you want to drive a car, you got to put the key in the ignition first. I mean, you can't just get in the car and hope it goes. Yeah. Unless, of course, it's electric. But
It's also changing your expectations. Like
that's the key.
It has shifted. There's you see a lot of these new development. There's back-to-back townhomes. There's condos. There's not a lot of land anymore. Yeah. So the homes are getting smaller, the properties are getting smaller. So if you're a first-time home buyer, start out with a condo or something smaller that you can afford. Once you're in the market, it's always a great time to be in the market.
Yeah, for sure. And this is what I found that is difficult for this younger generation is nobody wants to start with the first-time home and then work your way up. They want that big dream home on their first purchase, right? And nothing's wrong with that.
No,
I want that.
No, but that's been the case for every generation.
But it's expectations, right?
Yeah.
It is expectations.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is great. I'm so happy you both came here. You know, I know your time is valuable. But anyone looking to buy or sell, Jen and Kevin, they're 100% the real deal. And, you know, we love them. They're Costa Group approved.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dee.